I would know how to do this. And we're recording. All right, let me start my timer and we're going to begin. Okay, so the first one, I want everybody on their feet. We're going to stretch our toes and kind of do the bottom of our calves. I'm super sore, legs, even walking. I know we talked about that. Kyle, he completely crushed us yesterday. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your right foot. You can put it out to the side. I want you on the balls of your feet. You can see how my heel is raised. Once you're there, you should start to feel this tighten in your calf muscle. I want you to deepen it by bending that leg that's straight. So then bring it down. Really deepen that stretch in the calf. You may have to reset yourself if it gets too tight, but really you should be feeling in the arch of your feet up to the calf muscles. Once you're in that stretch, I want you to now take your toes and rotate to your pinky toe, just to deepen that stretch that much further. Take some nice deep breaths. We're going to hold this for another 10 seconds. And slowly let your heel back to the ground, stand up. And I want you to reset. We're going to still work on that same side. What I want you to do is flip it on the top of your feet. I want your toes under. Once you get that, you should really feel this in the arch of the foot. This is what the area that I'm trying to really stretch out is the foot and your calf muscle. So I want you on the tops of your toes. Once you're there, I want you to rotate out till you feel the stretch on the outer calf. Once you're there, I want you to deepen the stretch by bending that leg that's straight. So it's kind of like awkward. You're going to stick your hips out, but you're really stretching that leg. Focus on your breathing. Take some nice deep breaths. I'm going to do this for another 10 seconds. Now we're going to stretch it out. Please pardon me, my alarm's going to make sure I didn't forget class. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the other side. You can wiggle it out. Now we're going to go to the other side. What I want you to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get up on the balls of our feet, heel up nice and high. I want you to slowly rotate your foot out till you're feeling it in your calf muscles. Once you feel that stretch, I want you to deepen it by bending that right leg. Really get into the stretch and really hold it. Tell your body to relax. Let your body stretch out. Whew, that's tight. Get that heel up as high as you can. Rotate to the outside of the foot. And hold it for another 10 seconds. Slowly set the heel back down, stretch the legs, wiggle it out. Now we're going to flip it over to the top of the heel. I struggle with this side because I have a bunion on this foot. So I may have to stop, but I'm going to start it anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the tops of our feet. We want our toes curled under. Once we're there, I want you to rotate out to you slowly on your pinky toes. Once you feel that stretch in the heel, in the arch of your foot, and up your calf, that's when you know you're in the stretch. And I want you to bend the other leg. Focus on your breathing. We've had a couple just join in. Welcome. We'll be switching to the upper body in just a second. Gonna hold this for 5 more seconds. And slowly bring yourself back up. Let's wiggle it out both sides. I'm sure that's super sore. We haven't done that stretch in a couple weeks. Gonna make sure that we do that because that's a good one for the calves and the feet. So now we're gonna move to the upper body. I'm gonna start with the shoulders, then I'll do some obliques, and then we'll really focus on the legs because that is an area of tightness for all of you. So for the first one, we're gonna take our right hand. We're gonna bring it across our chest. We're gonna take our left hand and we're gonna bring it up. One thing I want you to notice, my position, my hand position. The left hand that's cupped up, it's not on my elbow. I want you to make sure it's either before it or after it, depending on your level of flexibility. You should really feel this in this shoulder of the arm across the chest, really opening it up, but you don't want to apply pressure to the elbow. I'm going to focus on some breaths. Nice deep breaths. Really try to open up that shoulder blade. I'm going to hold this for another 10 seconds, then we're going to switch sides so we get the other shoulder. And slowly reset yourself, bring yourself down to center, wiggle it out. Now what I want you to do is take that left hand, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna bring it across our shoulder. We're gonna bring our right hand up. And again, not placing it on the elbow. We want it either on the forearm or the bicep, tricep, depending on your level of flexibility. Really try to open up the back, bring those shoulders frontwards. Take some nice deep breaths. Your breath should be about 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, really telling your body to slow down. The day is over. We're gonna relax. I'll hold this for another 5 seconds. Slowly bring your arms down. I'm gonna do one more to really stretch out the back. I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see me. What I want you to do is you can place your feet about shoulder width apart. I want you to have a nice tall body. I don't want you leaning forward or backwards. I want your hips in line with your shoulders, which are aligned with our ankles, straight up and down. I want you to take your hands. I want you to clasp them together. Bring it back in front of you. I want you to roll it under and push. But what I want you to realize is look at my position. I'm not hunched over like this, because if you're doing it this way, you'll be stretching this area. I don't want to do that. I want you up here and I want you opening your shoulders, so you should be really feeling it up here. So keep a nice tall back. Push your arms out. I'll turn front so I can see everybody. Great job. Now really push those shoulder blades out. Hold this for another 10 seconds. And slowly roll your hands, unclasp them, you can bring it down. This next one, we're gonna open up the chest. I'm gonna turn around so you can see what I can do. You can do this one of 2 ways. I will show you the advanced version first. What you can do is you stand behind. It doesn't matter what side you grab. So I'm gonna take my right hand, I'm gonna bring it across my back, and I'm gonna grab my bicep. Once I'm there, I'm gonna really, really pull and open up my chest and really pop it out. If you can't reach your bicep, that's okay. Modification is gonna be just the opposite of what we just did. So we're gonna take our hands, we're gonna clasp them together just like we did in front of us. Flip them over and push down. Again, really opening up the chest. Whatever level of flexibility you have is perfect. They both of those styles are gonna do the same stretch. Great job. Really try to open up the chest, pushing those shoulder blades together now instead of pulling them apart. Yeah, if you need to take a break, it's okay. Do a couple arm circles. That's perfectly fine. Hold this for another 10 seconds. And slowly release down. Let's rotate the shoulders a little bit, go back and forward. Try to just wiggle out what we did up here because I'm sure it's really sore. And perfect. Now we're gonna move to some obliques. What I want you to do is take a wide stance, a little bit wider than shoulder. What we're gonna do is we're gonna keep our hips straight, then we're gonna turn, look behind. So you should really feel it in this area, getting the obliques especially. So you're gonna turn and look behind. Bring yourself back to center. Keeping your hips forward. You don't wanna turn all the way around because then you're not stretching your obliques, you're just turning. So you wanna keep your legs and your hips and your knees facing frontwards, and you wanna turn till you feel the stretch. Turn once you feel the stretch. We're gonna do this for another 10 seconds. Then we're gonna do a hamstring stretch, quads, and then we'll slowly take it to the ground. Perfect, bring yourself back to center. I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see this first one. Basically, it's gonna be kind of like what we did yesterday. For those of you that worked out, we did the deadlift. We're essentially gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna leave both legs on the ground and we're gonna let our hands hang. So what I want you to do, keep your feet, they can be a little wide, like hip width apart. What I want you to do is really push your hips back like I am. Once you have them pushed back, you should feel the stretch here in your lower back. I want you to bring yourself down till your shoulders are in line with your hips. Now you should start to feel the stretch move from your lower back to your glutes and hamstrings. Once you feel the stretch there, I want you to let your hands hang. I want your head in line with your shoulders. I don't want you all the way down like this. The different stretch, if you go all the way down, that's more for the back. I'm really trying to stretch out the hamstring. So again, push your hips back, hands hang, and hold. Great job, everyone, sticking those hips out. I'm gonna hold this for another 10 seconds. We're just gonna deepen the stretch. We're actually gonna change it as we're gonna stay in this position, but change it. Okay, so now from this position, I want you to take your hands that are now hanging and place them behind your calves. I want you to really bring your shoulders to your knees, your head down, and really try to fold yourself in half. This will stretch out the spine. We're gonna hold this for 15 seconds. So now, since we're already folded all the way down, we're gonna let our hands touch the ground if they can, or just let them down. Once they're down, I want you to slowly come up vertebrae by vertebrae. And I want your head to be the last part of your body to come up. Nice and slow, really stretching out the spine. Slow all the way up. Bring the shoulders up. And the head. Whew. Those are some good stretches. Oh, that feels good. Now we're gonna do the quads. If you have a wall, a table, side of a sofa, depending on where you are, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our foot, we're gonna bring it to our foot to our hand, right side. Once we're there, we're gonna take it like, I don't want you to be way out like this. I want you to try to close your knees and really try to get your heel to your glute. Because I lose my balance, so I'm gonna face this way. So I'm gonna bring my heel to my glute, and then I'm gonna close my knees. Should really feel this in the quad. Take some nice deep breaths. Hold this for another 5 seconds. Slowly bring your foot back down. Now we're gonna do the other side. Again, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna bring our foot to our hand. Once we're there, we're gonna really bring our heel to our glute. And then we're gonna take our knees and close them. Have a nice tall back. Great job. We're gonna hold this for another 10 seconds. Slowly bring your leg down. We're gonna head down to the floor. We're gonna do a lunge, but it's not gonna be like your typical lunge like we did with Kaio yesterday. We're really gonna push ourselves, so we're gonna be working our quads and our hips at the same time. So you're gonna put your back leg, doesn't matter which side you start with, we're gonna do both. So I have my left leg in the back down, and I have my right foot in front. So what I want you to do is I want you to really get your foot out in front of you. You should feel this stretch. I want you to really push yourself forward. If you see, I'm more like I'm like surfing. That's the idea, because then we're really elongating the hamstrings, the groin, and then the top quad. Really get that stretch. Try to push yourselves more forward. You take a deep breath in. On your exhale, try to really push that stretch. We'll hold this for another 10 seconds. Slowly push yourselves back up so that your hips are now centered. And we're gonna switch sides. So now I'm gonna bring my left leg front. I'm gonna have my right knee on the ground. Once I get into my lunge, I'm gonna push it a little bit further. Once you think you just can't push anymore, try to push a little bit further to deepen that stretch. Our bodies are screaming, "What are you doing to us?" We're just undoing what Kaio did yesterday. Hold this for another 10 seconds. Slowly push yourself back up. Okay, let's have a seat, everybody. We're gonna sit in the butterfly. Can you guys see me okay, or is my camera too high? Thumbs up? Okay. So what we're gonna do is sit in a butterfly. We're gonna bring our heels as close to the groin as we can. I want you to have a nice tall back, so you should really feel this in the inner thighs. And I want you to pull yourself up. I'm gonna hold this for another 10 seconds. I want you to extend your legs, make them nice and wide as you can. What we're gonna do now is I want you to, we're gonna go to the right side, but we're gonna go up and over because I want to stretch the obliques a little bit more. Mine are a little sore, so I really want to, we did those up and downs. I kind of could feel those today. So I want your legs nice and wide. We're gonna bring our left hand up and over and try to touch your toe if you can. I'm gonna hold this for another 10 seconds. Slowly bring yourself back up to center. Take a nice deep breath. Now we're gonna go to the other side. Right arm up and over. Try to touch your left foot if you can. We're really feeling this in the obliques. Gonna hold this for another 10 seconds. Slowly bring yourself back up. Now we're just gonna reach forward on this one, so reach out as far as you can, hands on the ground. You'll feel this in both the inner thighs. Depending on how far it may roll to your hamstrings, but we're trying to stretch the inner thighs. I'm gonna hold this for another 5 seconds. Gonna slowly bring ourselves back up. So now we're gonna lay down, we're gonna put our backs down. What I want you to do at first is I want you to take both your knees and bring them to your chest. If you want to add a rock or a sway side to side about 2 to 3 inches, that's perfectly fine. Or you can just keep your knees to your chest. Take a couple deep breaths. Hold this for another 10 seconds. Now what I want you to do is take that right leg. I want you to extend it out I don't want you to put it on the ground. I want you to take that left hand and hold on to your left foot, trying to stretch your leg, so pushing that knee towards your shoulder or your armpit, but really keeping that right leg straight and suspended in the air. Really stretching out the legs. Great job, everyone. Hold this for another 10 seconds. Now we're going to switch. So now we're going to bring that right leg in. I'm going to extend that left leg, keeping the left leg extended but in the air. Taking our right hand to the bottom of our foot and really trying to push the knee to our elbow. And really trying to stretch out that the left leg. I'm going to hold this for another 10 seconds. Now what I want you to do is to take that left leg, you could slowly put it on the ground. And now we're going to stretch out the right, nice and long. I want you to take both your arms and I want you to make a T. So now at this point, what I want you to do is we're going to take our right leg, we're going to bend the knee, we're going to bring the heel as close to the glute as we can. We're going to take our left hand, we're going to grab our quad, we're going to pull ourselves over. One thing I want you to remember is keep that right shoulder on the ground. Keep your head on the shoulder. We're trying to stretch the lower back. So by keeping your shoulders on the ground, you're not twisting your upper body. I'm going to hold this for another 10 seconds. Slowly bring our right leg back up, place the heel on the ground, and now we're going to switch. So we're going to straighten the right leg. We're going to bring the left leg. We're going to bring the heel as close to the glutes as we can. Arms out like a T. We're going to take that right hand. We're going to bring it up and over to that left quad. We're going to pull ourselves over. Again, keeping the shoulders on the ground, the head on the ground, and going over as far as you can so you feel the stretch in the lower back. I'm going to hold this for another 10 seconds. Slowly bring ourselves back up. Put the leg down, the heel to the ground. Extend the leg. We're going to sit up. Now we're going to get into our final pose of the day, which is the child's pose. So we're going to get into all four, turn over onto all fours. I want your knees above your hips. I want them all in line. I want you to walk your hands out in front of you at an angle and then push your hips back. I like to end here. Really gives you 30 seconds to focus, recenter yourself. All right, everybody, I am unmuting you all. Class is over. Excellent.
That's it?
I know, 30 minutes goes by so quick, doesn't it? If I don't put my timer on this, I would just keep going. Like, it's, I
Oh,
have to
feels
put it
so
on.
good.
I hope you guys feel good. Keep practicing these stretches. I'm gonna post this video so it's up, and there's other ones. Just a couple announcements. Welcome to the new people for the new challengers. Whoop, 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 6 weekers. Welcome, welcome. What else was I gonna say? Oh, today was the nutrition call. I heard it was fabulous. Paula, you were there, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It was mostly about the technology and logging and, you know,
Perfect.
which
Yes,
was good.
absolutely. There is a lot of apps and steps, and we're trying to keep it all straight. And I have a little fly down here. Sorry, I'm in the basement.
I saw him.
I know. I'm like, what the heck, Aroni? Must have came in when the kids were outside. So another thing, another announcement is Friday from 11 to 12 is the next nutrition call. If you guys can get on. Today, like Paula said, was Q&A. Typically they run an hour with Coach Nina. They're fabulous, super informative. And then Saturday, you'll be with me again.
Yes.
9:15 is the next
Need it.
stretch. You guys have a wonderful week. If you have any questions, anything, please, you know how to reach me, Facebook, message. I've got some challengers. Please don't hesitate to reach out, all right?
Thank you, Jess.
Have a great day. I love you
Have a
all.
good
See you
night.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jess.
You're welcome.